Joining me is CJ Janzen. Welcome, CJ.
Hi.
Thank you for coming in, and I just want to get right into us. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, CJ. Who are you, and what has your journey been like up until today?
My journey has been non-traditional in many different ways. I have been a paramedic, a truck driver, a scuba instructor, a world traveler, and then I became disabled, and now I'm taking my journey to being from a passion of being a passionate speaker to being a professional speaker.
Wonderful. Now tell us, you did mention that your life did take a detour. You had to pivot because of I will use the initials ME. And your journey with ME. Tell us more. What does ME stand for? And if you're okay with sharing, tell us what your journey with ME is like.
So I have an illness called myalgic encephalomyelitis. It's a mouthful. So the short form is ME because it's all about me. But the illness has a lot of variety of symptoms, but fatigue from activities, whether that's cognitive or physical, are a major portion of it. Non-restorative sleep. So for instance, I can go to sleep for 6 or 8 hours and still feel like I've had none or feel worse than I went to bed. So it's in effect a form of sleep deprivation, constant sleep deprivation. So there's a pain, there's cognitive dysfunction, what we call brain fog. There are times where I lose my words, where I am a point and grunt lady, person, soul, and I struggle to communicate. I have to be very careful about when I go out, how long I go out for. But through all of that, I choose to live joyously.
We were chatting a little bit before the show, and we talked about you have to be very conscious of where you put those energies. And you gave me a number in terms of how much you can feel you can give. I don't want to say full because I feel that's ableist because it's using somebody else's metric as to what is full. But for yourself, when you feel that you are CJ, you gave me a number of hours per day.
I would say that I average about 4 hours of functional time in a day, which is why I'm on disability. Holding a traditional job isn't possible, but on any given day, I can stretch it maybe to 6, and on other days, I don't get out of bed at all. I need support workers to come into my home to help me function. Otherwise, I'd probably be in a long-term care facility. But I refuse to live that way. I find a way, I fight through it joyfully.
I love that. And I heard you say as well that sometimes you lose words, and that's not going to deter you because now I'm going to shift over to Speaker Slam. This is a competition, yes, coming up for you. Tell us more about Speaker Slam and what led up for you signing up for the Speaker Slam.
Speaker Slam, I have to say, is like one of the best opportunities I've ever had. It is Canada's largest inspirational speaking competition. I was picked out of a multitude of people to compete. There is an investment that I made because they give you training, media exposure like this. They help me grow my brand. They solidify all of my social media stuff, and just they're there with a coach to help me write the speech that I'll be using or to support me in the writing of my speech. And I have been supported 100% throughout this entire thing. And on the 16th, Tuesday the 16th of July, I'm going to be standing on their stage telling my story in the hopes of moving forward into the Grand Slam, and I'm excited. I am absolutely thrilled to be there, to be a part of that journey, and to be with the other 10 amazing speakers that I'll be competing against.
So when I heard Speaker Slam, in my mind, it's just the one event, it's July 16th, but it's been a whole workshopping process for you then.
Absolutely.
I love that, because then they can take those that have that interest, but maybe not the resources to be able to take those stories and get it onto the stage. As a speaker, now again, stage time is, it's one thing to have your story, but it's really important that others hear your story too.
Indeed.
Yeah. So how have you been prepping for Speaker Slam?
Well, I have a personal coach that they provided, but a lot of it is putting pen to paper, discovering and digging down into what is my key message. And for me, that is choose to live joyously within the tempest of adversity. That is a quote that I wrote about 10 or so years ago that changed my life, that gave me the focus that I needed to be the sunny personality that you see here. It really helped me develop myself as a person, and I want to share that journey, that story, and from where I started, which was laying in bed wondering whether or not I could have the energy to take my next breath, to being on an international stage that celebrates perseverance.
From the workshopping, have you learned about the delivery? Do you think that's been a good growth process for you?
I am a Toastmaster, 7 years, and so I have been honing that skill for a number of years. And in fact, just recently, I won my club, area, division, and made it for the first time up to the district level competition, which was also an absolutely fabulous growth moment for me.
So this is not a hobby, this is a calling.
Absolutely.
Lovely. So do you have a message for our viewers here today? I know you have the bigger message, you have that message that's been honed for the stage, but anybody who's watching today, what's a message you'd want to pass on to our viewers?
That no matter what life does, because we all have moments where life is just not kind, that it is possible to start over. There is nothing holding you back but you, as long as you recognize that, yes, you're going to have to discover new purpose, new passions. You're going to make mistakes, but go out and try, because you never know where it's going to take you.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And I just want to make sure that this has been a great talk with you, and our time is pretty much near the end. But before we go, I'd like our viewers to know where they, and for myself too, where can we find you if we want to learn more about your journey and your public speaking profession as well?
I have launched my website today. So cjjanzen.com, Janzen. There's also on that website is an URL that will lead you to my ME Action fundraiser. My goal throughout this process is to raise $50,000 for ME research.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, and all the best with the Speaker Slam and any future endeavors that you have.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for joining
very
us.
much.